It's been so long. That's why you forgot already, huh?
I had to. I don't know. I think it's my mic, and I had to
And why is
just.
the title of the show "Return of Kevin"? It's not the return. It's the return of us, all of us.
Well, Kevin returns from the mainland, so
Yeah, there we go. That
welcome to
Well,
another episode of the Faddah Figures podcast. And
yo,
Kevin is back from the mainland.
well, I mean, I've been back, but
I heard it was a very interesting trip.
yes, that's what I heard too.
worst trip of my life. Worst trip of my life. Well, I mean, it's been like how long since we did an episode? Um,
Couple weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
so well, yeah. Well, it's been. I know it's been a while, and I don't know if we talked about it in a past episode, but did we talk about your experience with COVID? I don't think so.
I
No.
talked about it with James a
Yeah,
little bit,
Oh,
very little
oh,
bit.
oh, okay, okay.
But now,
So,
now me and Kevin are COVID buddies. So
I feel left out.
so, so, yeah. Um, you know, my luck, our family's luck, our first real family trip, we catch COVID.
yeah,
Go figure. Um, yeah, probably. I don't want to say the worst experience, but it was a unfortunate
hmm
experience,
Yeah,
just
especially
the
being
timing
our
of it was just bad.
yeah, especially being our first family trip. So just for the, I guess, to give the timeline, we left on a Wednesday night. We know. Oh, and this is actually a good time to talk about traveling with the child. First time traveling with a child. That
yep.
was interesting. Um, yeah, nothing you. There's nothing that can prepare you for traveling with a child for the first time, especially an infant.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I tell you what, it's an experience for sure. Um, so yeah, we left on Wednesday night. We got to Spokane, or actually, sorry, it was a red eye. We got to Seattle first, and then from Seattle we flew to Spokane. And just for everyone listening, so we went to we this trip was for my wife's brother's college graduation. He's
Yeah.
graduating from Gonzaga University, um, and so we were going up there for the ceremony, which was supposed to be on that Sunday. So we left we wanted to be there a little early just to explore and check out everything. Um, and so we got there Thursday morning. Um, got the rental car, drove to our hotel, checked in, dropped off the bags, explored a little bit, and then Friday came. Friday we did the same thing, explore, um, go eat at different places. Met with the brother, also the my in-laws and my auntie, and I mean, my wife's auntie uncle also flew in, and we met up with them on that Friday. And then I think it was late Friday night, early Saturday morning. Um, Finn, my son Finn, he started like he started feeling like hot, like really hot, and then out of nowhere he threw up like a lot, like not like just a little spit up or something. He threw up a lot,
Yeah.
and like you're feeling he's so hot, or like, man, like he seems like he has a fever. And so I was like, oh, I should get some baby Tylenol or something. So um I I went to the store. I got a thermometer because we didn't have one, and then I got some baby Tylenol, and went back to the room. Took his temperature. He was like 103, like
Dang.
103.6 or something.
Yeah, that's hot.
And yeah, so I was like, whoa, he's hot. And you could just look at him and you could tell that he was not himself for sure. And so like my wife, she just made the decision. She's like, we got to take him to the ER because where I'm really worried about him. So I was like, okay. And luckily, the hotel we were staying at was like right next to a children's hospital.
Oh,
Like
nice.
Dang,
like
that's
not
pretty lucky.
not even 5 minutes away. Like I mean, literally, you could walk up to the hospital. It's like
Yeah, that's cool.
right across the street from our hotel. So thankfully, that was there. So we went to the ER, checked in. They did his vitals, and then we saw the doctor, and the doctor told us that his vitals were good. Actually, they're like you know they didn't say anything bad. They just like, oh yeah, because and while we're in the ER, he was like dry heaving a lot. He was dry heaving, like it seemed like he wanted to throw up more. But I don't think he did. I think he maybe spit up a little bit, but I can't remember. But he wasn't taking any liquids in either.
Yeah.
So the doctor came and saw us, and she was like, she told us that, oh yeah, he's got like some kind of stomach bug or something, and she said that's been going around lately because they've been seeing a lot of kids that've been coming in some with similar symptoms. And we're like, oh, okay. And then we're like, are you sure it's not COVID? And then she's like, no, it's not. No, it's not COVID because his vitals aren't showing like that it is.
Yeah.
And um, so we're like, oh, okay. And then, but then during that time, like I had like a little sniffle, like my nose was a little running, but it wasn't that bad. It was just a little running. Um, so we took him back to like they released us, and they gave us some prescriptions. They're like, okay, we'll give you some Zofram for the not the like anti nausea, and then we'll give you Tylenol, and we'll give you Motrin, and then just take this. Like you can take each the Tylenol and the Motrin like sequentially. So you can take the Tylenol, and then 3 hours later you can take Motrin, and just keep that process going, and to keep his fever down. And once we started doing that, his fever was coming down. It was like, I mean, the next time we checked it, it was like 99 point something. So
That's good.
yeah, it was working. And you could kind of, I mean, he was still like, you look at him, he just looked like he was like sad, like like he was just like so out of it. Um and so we went back to the hotel room. This was like Saturday morning. We slept a little bit, and then like woke up. I started I think I started to feel kind of hot. I want to say like yeah, like mid Saturday. I started kind of feeling, and I started feeling chills, and then I told D, I said, "Oh yeah, um, I think I'm catching something." And then they're like, "Oh, maybe you should try to take a rapid test, a
Yeah.
COVID test." And I was like, "Yeah, but we don't have any." And then I think D's brother had at his dorm, so he brought one over. I took it, and it came out positive, and I was like, "Yeah, it came out positive." And every we didn't like panic or anything. We're like, maybe it's a false positive or something like
Yeah.
that. And she's like, and they're like, oh, you should schedule a test like at Walgreens or something. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. So I scheduled a PCR test, right? And then the next day, my symptoms got worse on that Sunday. So we were gonna make the ceremony for
Yeah.
sure. We weren't gonna make the ceremony. So, but um, the my in-laws wanted me to take a rapid test, to see if it's a false positive. So if in the event it was, we could at least go to the
Yeah.
lunch after the ceremony. And then so I tried. So I went to Walgreens, and um I tried to change the PCR test to a rapid test, but they said it's too late. I couldn't do it, so I just took the PCR test, and then I took another rapid at home rapid test, and that still came out positive. So I was like, oh, guarantee I have COVID,
Yeah.
and like it's still the symptoms just keep showing it, and so so like we're so sad, like especially D was super sad because not only did she miss seeing her brother's graduation, but she's now from that point on, now we had to quarantine. we
Yeah.
couldn't we couldn't see anybody. Well, I mean, like we we did see people only when we were like leaving the hotel.
Yeah.
Because like D, she was mentioning like oh, maybe we should go back, maybe we should fly back home, and we should just go back home, cancel the trip. And I was like, well, we can't fly back home when we're sick, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
I was gonna ask you. I was like, do you have to tell the airline company that you test positive? I don't know what the regulations are now with all that stuff.
yeah, I don't know either, but um all I know is it was like, we're like, well, we can't fly right now, we're sick, we don't we're risking giving
Yeah,
it to other people,
I'd be hella pissed
and then
if
yeah.
you got COVID and you were
Yeah.
next to me. Like, you fucker. What the hell, man? Dude, are you COVID right now?
Yeah, so and then she's like, okay, fine. And then I was like, let's just continue our trip, and go to our, because from Spokane, we were gonna leave from Spokane and then head to Seattle. So like we were actually, so that was a Sunday, and then we were gonna stay there till the next week Saturday. So we are like, okay, we'll just continue our trip. Okay, and then so mind you, so when I tested positive on that Saturday, D also took a rapid test, to see, and she was negative.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's cool.
so she was negative, mind you. Okay, so Sunday comes, I take another rapid test, I'm positive again. She takes another rapid test, she's still negative. Okay, and we're like, wow, that's so weird. Like we're for sure. Like when as soon as I tested positive, we're like, oh, guarantee that's what Finley has. He has COVID, and he probably gave it to me. And we're like, how did he catch it? And we had no idea. When we were traveling, so we were wearing our mask, but Finley wasn't. Obviously we
Mhm.
cannot put a mask on him.
It's hard, yeah.
We did get a face shield for him, but he was so irritated by it. Every time we tried to put it on, he would like take it off, or he would like swat it out of his face or whatever.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, so we couldn't protect him, uh, you know, from any kind of airborne type things. So yeah, we're thinking that he caught it, and then and and then gave it to me, and then so anyway, so that, and then that Monday, right? That was the last day we were staying at the hotel in Spokane. I think that Monday morning, Dee woke up and she started feeling symptoms,
Oh
and
no.
then yeah, so she started feeling it, and thankfully I was feeling better. That Sunday, I was pretty much like, you know, recovering the whole time. I was like, I would sleep a lot, and think, you know, God bless Dee. She took care of me and baby
Yeah.
that whole time. Um, and so that Monday, she started feeling symptoms, and she's like, "Oh no!" She's like, "This is, our worst nightmare, coming true. That it's like we're all sick from COVID." So, um, so before we left the hotel, she took a rapid test, and then it came out positive.
Yeah.
And so
It's
we're like,
hard, man. You
oh,
guys are together. Eventually, like,
yeah,
you're
I
not
know,
it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like you're not
We're just,
quarantined, like you're all together. Like,
yeah. So we were like, okay, well, it was bound to happen. If baby had it, I have it, you are gonna get it too. I mean, because you're with us.
yeah.
So we left the hotel. Oh, and then I think on that Sunday when I had the two rapid tests, I called um my doctor here in Hawaii, and I asked, I was like, hey, we heard that there's a medication that you can take for COVID. And she's like, oh yeah, yeah, there is. It's called Paxlovid. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
Okay. Anyways, so it's this antiviral medication. It's actually made by Pfizer. And you take that, and it should help with mitigating the symptoms, and also getting COVID out of your body.
Yeah.
So I that was on Sunday, and then you know they're like, okay, we'll send the prescription to that hospital that was right next to us. So um, I was able to pick it up that day, and then we left the hotel. We started heading our Airbnb that was not in Seattle, but it was like on the way to Seattle.
Yeah.
It was this place called Leavenworth. I'm not sure if you guys heard of that before.
Mm-mm. I mean, I've
Um,
heard of Leavenworth, but not the one in Seattle.
oh no no yeah. So yeah so we went went to our Airbnb, nice, super nice Airbnb. And pretty much we just stayed there. We were there from Monday, Tuesday, checked out Wednesday morning. So we were there the whole time. And then um, once Dee found out she had COVID, she did the same thing as me and called the doctor and asked to get a prescription for that medication. And then we picked up her medication on that Tuesday. And then yeah, so we left there. Um, and I think I want to say probably by Wednesday morning, I was like, I want to say like most of my symptoms are gone. Like I was like feeling way better than um I was like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
and and then but and even baby was like feeling better, but he still wasn't his full self, because he wasn't like drinking, he wasn't taking in liquids, he wasn't eating. Like we were worried about him getting dehydrated. And the only time he would take in any liquids, it was when he was asleep. So like he'll be sleeping, and we'll put the bottle like in his mouth, and he'll
Oh
drink the
wow,
whole thing. He'll drink the whole thing while he's asleep, mind you.
that's
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So like when he's awake, it's like his mind's telling him that he doesn't want it, but his body wants it, because like when he was sleeping, he would drink it. So we knew that his body wanted it, but then his mind was saying, no, I don't want any. But so luckily we were able to find that out, and it would and feed him or let him get some liquids in him. And then we're trying to give him Pedialyte. He did not like Pedialyte. He didn't like anything. um and so, but he was feeling better though. Like his fever went away. I mean, we continued to give him, like, the Tylenol and the Motrin. So like we never seen the fever come back. um and like he would cough a little bit, and um have just like minor things, but nothing too bad. And but he was smiling and playing, and
yeah.
doing like what babies do. um and then so that Wednesday we left the Airbnb, and then we started heading to Seattle. And then we got to Seattle, and we started staying in our new Airbnb, which was actually close to the airport. Like, I mean, literally like 5 minutes away from the airport. So the way Dee planned this was really surprisingly really helpful. Uh,
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
no, well, I mean, no, what I mean, meaning like like the hotel next to the hospital,
Yeah,
you
Oh
know,
yeah,
that's true.
the and then the Airbnb next to the airport. And so it was like she she had it all planned out. And but not knowing that we were gonna get COVID.
yeah.
Um, so we get to the Airbnb. I was feeling better. Baby was feeling better. Dee was not feeling better. She was, the symptoms were not treating her well. She was super congested, a lot of coughing. Like you can hear her voice, and she couldn't like. It didn't sound good. So like a lot of times she would tell me to speak for her. So
Yeah.
anytime we went someplace to order something, she's like, "Can you order this for me?" And I was like, "Okay, that's fine." And so like anytime we go through like a drive-through or something, um yeah. And then I mean, and at like I didn't want the trip to be a total waste. So I was like, let's just go to, let's go check out the mall. And like we'll wear masks, and we'll have like our hand sanitizer, so we won't, we'll try to limit our exposure to everyone else. You know what I mean? Like like obviously we don't want to give COVID to anybody else, but at the same time we don't want to be stuck inside the room. So um yeah, we went out. We went to the mall. We went to IKEA. That was our first time going there. And then we went to some other places, but most of the time we're in the Airbnb, just kind of writing it out. Yeah, and then after that, I think um, as soon as we got back on that next Saturday or last Saturday, and I took a rapid test. I was negative, and then and then and then I scheduled a PCR test for this past Monday, or actually this past Monday, and then that one came out negative on Wednesday. And then yeah, so we got back, worst trip ever.
Bro, I
Um,
would have extended my trip. I'd have been like, no, we're staying like 5 more days or something. I was like, it's
well,
good.
I mean, like we already spent so much money. We don't want to spend more
Yeah.
money, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta take leave too, and
Yeah. So yeah, we're like, yeah, we'll just finish our trip. We'll finish it, and then I mean, like, luckily, so when we came back on that Saturday and then the Sunday, so my in-laws and they went on a boat cruise after the graduation. So, and they weren't going to come back. They came back just on Thursday.
Mhm.
So, had we didn't have anybody to watch baby, so I had to, even though we came back on Saturday, I took off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to watch baby, and
Uh,
then she worked those days. But yeah, so you know, I was away from work for 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
See, and then at least also like your COVID experience was a little bit better. Like you were like in a hotel, like a nice comfy bed.
Well,
Bro,
I would rather be at home, to be honest. Ooh, I would rather
not
be
in
at
my
home.
situation, bro.
yeah, not
Shannon,
Chris's situation.
Shannon isolated me first because I had it first. So she kicked me in the guest room, okay? And the guest room is not made for guests. It's just a spare bedroom with
Storage.
like it's with storage, bro. It's like boxes everywhere. Just like it's just there's just no like it's not meant for anyone to live in there. There's a TV, there's a cable box, but it's just not meant for anyone to like sleep in there. It's like a fold down futon bed that's like worn out already. The springs is like poking through. It's like, bro, it's the worst bed I could ever sleep on. Like for a second, I literally thought of like trying to go to a hotel and sleep at a hotel. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know if you have to tell the hotel like, oh, I've got COVID. I'm just gonna quarantine here. I don't know, like what the regulations are. I know in the beginning they had like hotels you could go to isolate.
Designated, yeah.
Yeah, but nowadays I don't know if they had it. So I was just like, no, this is horrible. So I was like literally stuck in like one small little bedroom, bro, and it was just horrible.
Oh no, oh yeah, he was not like that. She's like, no, if we're gonna get COVID, we're gonna get COVID together.
Yeah. Well, you guys were also in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it'd be different. Like, I don't know if Diana would, babe, would you, if I got COVID, you gonna kick me to Maddie's room? Oh shoot,
so
yeah,
she
she's
would.
pregnant, so yeah, you're going into Maddie's room.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
that's like,
That's true. She's
Shannon was
pregnant.
like,
I don't want to. I'm affecting two people if she gets it. So I was like, okay,
yeah.
I guess I'm sleeping on Maddie's small ass little
Bro,
little.
and then like I had it first, right? And then 2 days later, Shazen had it, so he gets kicked into the room with me. So now there's two people inside this small little room, this small little futon bed, and it's just like, bro, it
And
was just like uncomfortable to sleep in.
I just felt bad because you had to entertain Shazen
Yeah,
for hours.
and it was like honestly, and I don't want to like sound like mean, but it's like the inconvenience of being in that room was worse than the actual symptoms of the COVID. And it was just like, man, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it was for us. I think the difference would be, because Shani's pregnant. So she's being super cautious,
Mhm.
and so that makes sense. But then why? So you're saying you didn't get a hotel room because you weren't sure on the, I guess, restrictions or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but the funny thing is, so well, I don't say the funny thing is, but um once you leave, when you travel, you go to other places, man, it seems like there's no COVID because
Yeah,
nobody's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
for real.
Everybody's doing whatever they like,
Yep.
like Hawaii is the only one that's like, being super
More cautious.
yeah, more cautious.
But case
And
counts are going up right now, though.
Yeah,
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 but
I got a
you,
memo.
you know yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
But
for the
yeah,
military, I was like, oh
like
crap.
in Washington, yeah, nobody's wearing a mask. Everybody's like, nonchalant. It's just like whatever's, every place is open. No
no restrictions
restrictions.
whatsoever.
Like, yeah, nothing. They don't care if you're vaccinated. They don't. Yeah, none of that. It's just like, it's like
Get it.
if you like say you left, like you went into a cave before COVID, and then like you came out now, you wouldn't even know there was
Even
COVID.
though,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. So, but yeah, so traveling with an infant, that was a very interesting
When
experience.
you tested, when you tested positive, did the CDC call you and all?
No, no,
Really?
no, yeah, nobody called me. I think you know
Right.
when I tested because I tested positive in Washington,
Uh huh.
um, and nobody called me,
Really?
after I got my results, but I do remember getting like a call from like a Washington number. Like I want to say when we came back home.
Uh huh.
Yeah, when we came back home, and I didn't answer it, and I was like, so it's like, what is this Washington number?
Hmm.
And I didn't even bother. So maybe that was them trying to call me. And then I think my boss is asking like, oh, the state call you? Did Hawaii call you? I'm like, no. How would they know? You know, how would they know that I um
Yeah.
Yeah.
tested positive because I didn't take a test in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but you would think at the hospital, like you put your information in and you test positive. Because when I went, the CDC called me that day I tested positive.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and then they're like asking me. I felt kind of bad because I tested positive like 1 in the morning at the ER. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So mine's one on Tuesday. I woke up and I had a slight cough. I think it was, and a slight some sniffles. And I didn't even think anything of it. I was like, I just have allergies. But Shani being pregnant, she was like, you need to take a test. And so I took an at-home test. I took an at-home test and it was negative. And she was like, okay, she felt fine. So we're like, okay, it's negative. So we went about our day. Then I went to sleep Tuesday and I woke up Wednesday with like mad fever, just like body shakes and my body
Yeah.
was like cramping, aching. Then I went to the ER, tested at 1 in the morning. I tested positive. Bro,
Yeah.
the ER doctor didn't even want to come into my room. Like I was in the room and then they tested me and then they left. The ER doctor opens the door later and she's like, did anyone give you your results? I'm like, no. And she goes, all right, well, I'm gonna stay in the hallway. And she's like yelling at me from the hallway. She's like, but you tested positive. And she's like, someone will come in to tell you the rest. And she's like, all right. I was like, okay, like, bro, she full on didn't even want to be near me. I was like, whatever. But
I
yeah, so
mean,
I went
yeah.
home and the CDC called me. And that Wednesday, I was like super tired. Like I was sleeping the whole day, and I couldn't even stay awake if I wanted to. Like I was just sleeping. So people were calling me. CDC, the hospital was calling me, and I was kind of like rude to them because I was like tired. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, like kind of like lying to them. They're like, oh, did you go anywhere? Da, da, da. I'm like, no, no, no. I was just like trying to keep the conversation short.
Yeah, yeah.
And then CDC even like was like, oh, do you live alone? I was like, no, I live with my family. And they're like, "Oh, would we be able to talk to your family and ask them questions?" And I kind of like paused, like I was like, "Fuck." And she's like, "You have the right to say no." I was like, "Oh yeah, no then." And she's like, oh, "Okay." And then I think at that point she knew I didn't want to talk to her, so she's like, "All right, well," she gave me the rules, like you gotta stay away from people for 5 days. After 5 days, you can go out with a mask, and we'll call you after 10 days to release you. They said.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. And then so they called me after 10 days and she was like, do you have any symptoms? I was like, no. She was, all right, I'll release you from the system. I was like, all right.
I think
So
every
it was,
state's a little different with CDC and hospitals and how they
Really?
do
I thought
things.
CDC was like a overall like for the
Yeah,
whole
but think
United
about
States.
it. How many states really follow CDC guidelines? They bring out
I
stuff,
don't
and you see
know.
all these states are like, oh, they're wishy-washy. So it's like it is. I look at it as it is what it is. There's going to be
But
some
also,
states where
you
the
would
hospital
think
report and
like
they're
in
really
Kevin's case, he resides in Hawaii. He goes on vacation. You would think if he tested positive up there, you would think the CDC would like flag like the guidelines from his home
you think
state.
they would, but I doubt it.
Yeah,
That's in a perfect world. I feel like.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like me and me and D we talked about it, before the trip, we're like, like, oh, what if we catch COVID, and we're like, there's a possibility, it was like, I think we talk about it in like a past episode, like it's more not
Not as
not
when.
a case of if you get it, it's when you get it,
When
right?
yeah,
Right. And it's like, yeah, and so we got it, and it's I think it's coming to the point where it's like the flu, like
Yeah,
you're eventually gonna catch it, I mean, you can be as safe as you want, and as cautious as you want, but until, I mean, you can't control everybody else, right?
yeah.
So it's like,
no, but
it's
because it's weird also because like in our situation, I got it, and then Shazen got it a couple days later, and Shani never got it.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, so
So it's
thankfully,
crazy.
yeah, good thing she was, she was quick in
Yeah.
her reaction, and doing that. So yeah, that's good. But yeah, so wait,
Traveling.
when yeah, traveling, that's wanted to ask you guys, who how old, okay, we'll start with James. How old was Maddie when she first
James
went on a
never went
trip?
on a trip with Matt.
Yeah,
But
Diana
I
went
know,
on with
yeah, I
her.
know,
James
yeah, I know.
never.
Huh? She was 15 months, and I did everything in my power to make sure, because I was like, I didn't want Diana to travel alone. This is her first
He only
trip,
spent the extra money. He didn't do much.
dude. I spent. I don't know if I will again. I didn't know it was my first time ever buying first class. So when I was like booking, I was like, oh, that price looks okay. When I looked at that price, I thought that was the total. It was per ticket. So I was like, wait. Oh, sorry. No, Diana said that was one way.
Yeah.
So when it booked it, I looked at my Diana was like, how much was it? And I looked at my receipt. I was like, oh shit. Like, that's a lot. I was like,
You're
oh
like,
my God.
you're like, I could have bought 2 computers with that.
Yeah, oh, way more than 2 computers. You can probably buy like 10 cheap ones. Like, but
Really?
yeah, but because we figured her mom came, her dad came. So they had 3 first class tickets. And I mean, it was definitely, I don't know, was it worth the money? Diana says
Oh
no.
yeah, no,
Just
yeah,
because,
trust me.
well, for her,
Yeah.
because it was a one way, it was a long flight.
So
So
you
if it was
did
a shorter
you
flight,
did
it might not matter.
first round trip?
Yeah, first on round trip. So it was they got to like they got to pretty much lay down. Yeah, so it was a little bit easier for Maddie to just lay down.
Oh yeah.
So but I don't know.
And it was a direct flight. It was a direct flight from Hawaii to.
It was
you were in
Hawaii
Louisiana?
to Dallas, babe. Yeah, Hawaii to Dallas, and then Dallas to Mississippi.
Just know better. You only have to pay for 1 round trip ticket. Now imagine if you had to pay for 2.
No, he paid for 3.
Oh, I paid for 3.
He paid 3. He paid for the in-laws.
Oh, you paid for the in-laws
Yeah,
too?
Because he wanted them to come.
Mom and dad, because I was like, dude, we're not gonna like.
He didn't want Nana to fly alone.
Yeah, we're not gonna force you to pay.
Okay, yeah,
We
that's
wanted
even
them to
worse.
come. Yeah, we wanted them to come to help out with Maddie.
You can't ask them to help and then pay their own tickets.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, we'll pay.
Holy moly! What is so? Well, I'm just assuming that was, what is that? That's like 2, 4.
It was almost what?
Like
grand?
what? $7,000?
It was $8,000.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
I was like, what in the bejesus? Like, so ever since I did that, every time I go on flights now and I see these little punk kids in first class, I'm like, you guys are ungrateful. You need to go back to the real folks. Go sit back there.
I want to fly first class though. I hate flying so much that I want to fly first class.
Dude,
yeah,
flying.
like
Dude,
after
I'm the worst flyer.
if I was a baller.
after our first trip, yeah, like we definitely. I think the next trip we go on, if you know, if yeah, I mean before he turns 2, because I think before 2 it's still free for him. So
Yeah.
yeah, if we fly before 2, the next time we fly again, before 2, yeah, we're definitely getting. We're
Yeah.
not. I don't know if we'll get first class, but we'll definitely get like
Oh,
more room because
one
Yeah,
of
yeah.
us is in
it's
first
so
class.
I
tight.
get the more room
It's
for
so
sure,
tight.
We'll
but
rotate.
It's so
I
tight.
really want to get first class just because I hate flying. Like I'm the
Yeah.
worst flyer.
Be like, babe, you can go sit in first class with Maddie, and then
Bro, could you do that? Could you do that?
Hey,
honestly,
actually,
I'd be like,
Could
hey,
you?
they don't care who sits in that class. We paid for the ticket.
You could? Yeah, that'd be. Oh, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
Never
I
thought
was
of
like,
that.
dude, just pay one, and
That's a
then
pay
good
him on
idea.
and
whoever
just
has
rotate.
Maddie go to
Yeah,
first
that's a
class,
great
and then
idea.
See,
I still have to pay the seat for Maddie, so I have 2 seats
Yeah,
to my
that's
own.
a great idea.
no, but the thing is the thing with that is right. If I did that, if I bought one first class ticket and I bought a regular ticket, Dee wouldn't want to switch. She would just stay the whole time.
Well, that's you. Hopefully, Diana will help me switch, but
She'd be like, no. She's like, I'm good. You can stay in coach.
Me and Finn would say,
Diana
okay,
says,
you can stay back there.
Diana says you can go first class if you take Maddie. I'm like, no, you can go then. I feel like that's more. I don't know if the first class outweighs like that. That's more work for me. But yeah,
but so okay, yeah. So and then talking about that, we were kind of nervous for him. His first, flying, his first time flying. We're like, but Dee kind of planned for it. She's like, okay, we'll feed him as soon as we get up in the air. To help with the pressure.
yeah.
With his ear and everything, and kind of like once he drinks a bottle, he'll go sleep, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's what we did. We waited, we got up in the air, we gave him. He slept the whole way
Nice.
from Hawaii to Seattle, and then from Seattle to Spokane.
That's nice. Oh,
Like
that's
he slept the
perfect.
whole way. Yeah, it actually
You guys
worked
have a
out.
red eye too, though, so that was good.
Yeah. And then I remember I was talking to my coworker, and she was like saying, yeah, red eye's kind of, it's like iffy. Like sometimes they sleep, sometimes they don't. So it's like a kind of like a gamble. But
Up in the air.
yeah, it worked out for us because he slept the whole way. And like, man, like the flight we were on, I swear there was like a lot of kids on that flight, a lot of kids. And and most of them, surprisingly, the babies, I didn't really hear babies. I heard like toddlers,
Yeah.
toddlers, going like screaming, crying. Like there
Yeah.
was one right
Like the
next to us.
toddlers, because they understand more. Like it's a different situation.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
They
Yeah,
like,
Once
they
they hit like
don't
3
know how to
years
like
old,
internalize stuff, and it's
Yeah.
new, and it's like, who
it's
are these
super
people? Like,
new. They're not sure.
they get
Yeah,
bored a
they're
lot
not
faster.
comfortable.
Yeah, there was one right next to us, and he was like screaming his head off, and
Yeah.
like and like the times that Finn was up, he would look at the kid and it's with like big eyes, like, what's going on with you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, I'm
like
okay.
nowhere
What's wrong?
friendly.
Like,
Yeah.
like what's wrong with you?
They're just not used to. Like when we went with Shazen and my whole family went to Disneyland. Shazen was turning 3 when we were up there, so he was still 2, but he was like he turned 3 in like a few days.
And
So
that was
him
his
and
first
niece-
his first trip.
Yeah, we were going to Disneyland for their birthdays, and then my niece, we took the red eye too, and then my niece, I guess she's used to sleeping just in her pull-ups and with no clothes. And so in the plane, she couldn't go to sleep because she was uncomfortable because she had her clothes on, and the whole time she was just crying,
No,
just like throwing a fit, like. And I was like, at one point, I wanted to tell my brother, like, bro, just let her take her freaking clothes off. If that's gonna make her comfortable, just like take her clothes off. Like she's only 3, like. But yeah, they're just like trying to like console her. I was like, damn, it sucks. Like the whole time she's crying, and you're just like, sucks.
Wow.
no.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I
We're
mean,
trying to like plan a trip next year, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm like,
because when is Diana due?
so Dinah, she's doing October. So I
So
would say
how old would the baby be?
baby will probably maybe 6
Less
months
than
old,
1.
because next
Yeah.
summer we're trying to plan a trip to go see my parents in Korea.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Um,
Korea.
to do like a Korea Japan trip since we're already over there. But I'm like, man, like that's a long trip, and I want to do
That
first
is,
class, but I'm like, I
but
need to save 5 years.
but so the consolation for that though is, um, international flights. They do offer a bassinet
Mm-hmm.
that
Wow.
connects to
Oh, I
the
didn't know
wall.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know that.
Oh,
That's
wow.
cool.
yeah.
Okay.
International flights. They have like this bassinet that kind of connects to the wall. So, um, yeah, when you plan your trip, make sure to look for
Okay.
that.
I didn't know
How
that.
long
Yeah.
is the flight to Korea?
And to Korea, it's probably like what 9-10 hours
Okay.
straight flight.
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
it's a long.
when yeah, I mean when you're planning, because when we were planning our trip, we were looking up all different types of tips and tricks and hacks and all this, how to travel with a baby. And I mean, we found some useful things, some things that worked, or I should say some things that we used and some things that we didn't.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, so like, and then one of them we saw, we were like, I remember saw this like video on YouTube, and then like 10 tips for traveling with a baby, and one of them was like they said ask for a bassinet on the plane,
Yeah.
and so we're like, what? Like there's you can have a bassinet on there, and then we found out it was only for international flights.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool. I
So
didn't even know that.
yeah,
Yeah, I had no
so
idea.
yeah, when you do plan that, look that up.
But they do sell stuff, right? I swear I've seen like items where you can like it's like it
Yeah,
fits into where the seat is where the kid can like lay in and stuff.
they do make like little items where it's like you can put
Yeah.
the baby on, or like they can lie down and all
Yeah.
that and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like on the flight we were on, no ways. There was no room for that. Like literally we would hold him like right in our laps,
Yeah.
and we couldn't bring the table down. We couldn't
Yeah.
do we couldn't do any of that. It
Oh,
was, and it's like when you're on a flight, right, you want to like go to sleep. So we wanted to go to sleep, and he was asleep, but then we're holding him, but we're worried about you know holding him while we're
yeah.
sleeping.
You
So
don't want to like accidentally
yeah,
let
like let go. Yeah. So
that's tough.
it was a little tough, but I mean we did okay. At least we're and we found out. So like when you guys go on trips, like how early do you guys go to the airport?
Just normal. What, like 2 hours? Either 2 hours before a flight.
How about you,
Yeah.
Chris?
I don't travel a lot, so I would like I get nervous, so I go
Or-
like super early.
Okay, so yeah, so usually yes, I'm like with you, James, 2 hours.
Yeah.
But after this trip, if you're traveling with a child, you got to go 3 hours for
Yeah.
sure. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. You got to go 3 hours because, um, like we got there 2 hours earlier, but like checking in, going through security, like and for so like chicken wasn't too bad. We got our tickets, and then the security line was super long, and because of COVID, right? There's not as many security checkpoints
Yeah.
as before, right? So like they really centralized it to just one. So that means the lines are longer, and it takes longer to get through security. Um, and because we were traveling with Finley, you know, we actually looked up, like, okay, what's the rules on like formula and water and all that stuff. And so we found out that you can bring formula. That's not a big deal. Uh, breast milk is not a big deal. Water is also not a big deal. You can bring water with
Oh
you
really?
through security. But the caveat to that is, obviously once they see it, they're gonna check it.
Yeah.
They have to check it. So that just adds on time to
Yeah.
you know the process. So like if we didn't have that, then we would have had time to get our gate and relax. But because they had to check all of his baby stuff, that added on time. So by the time we got to the gate, we had like maybe half an hour before the flight left. So like we left once we left security, we got to the gate, um, and then like I had to pack up the stroller, the car seat into I got like a car seat bag and a stroller bag, and then I had to pack it up in that. And then by the time that was done, they're like, okay, we can start boarding our first class passengers and da 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 da. And oh, pro tip for James: whenever they say board military, just go.
Oh yeah, I don't even listen when they start boarding first class. I just first class. I'm like, oh no, I'm military. Do you guys do it? Because other airlines do it. I make them feel shitty. Like, do you guys not military? Oh no, you can go. I was like, okay, thank you for serving.
You're gonna show ID or nothing?
Huh?
You're gonna show
I've
military
never
ID?
had someone steer me away. Never.
No, but do you have to show a military ID?
Yeah, I show my military ID.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, but we noticed like during all the flights that we went on this past trip, like the first people they board are the the people in wheelchairs,
Yeah.
like the ones that need
I
assistance.
need help. Yeah.
Yeah. They board them first, and then the next are military members. They're like active duty.
Yeah.
They're like active
On
duty
orders,
military,
whatever.
active duty military members and first class.
Yeah.
They board them first, and we're like, and we didn't do it the first time.
Yeah, why wouldn't you though?
No, because we're like, okay, they're probably after that, that's when they're like, okay, families with
Families and babies.
yeah, families and babies next. But they didn't, and we're
They
like,
don't even
what?
care. They don't even say families and babies. No.
Yeah, sometimes
And
some airlines they don't even say military. So I just literally when I see first class, I just walk up. Oh, you first class? I'm like, no, military. Oh, you guys don't do military service here? Oh, no. I was like, okay. I make it loud. So everyone around me, they hear like, no, we don't do that for military. I'm like, oh, all right. You guys. Hawaiian does it. United does it. What, Delta? You don't do it? All right.
No, Delta does it. Delta does it.
No.
But that's messed up. Like one of those like off-brand airlines, and then you're like, what?
Like
You don't?
international brands
You
out
don't
there.
care? You don't care about service members? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll remember that next time I
Yeah.
book a flight.
Yeah. No, but I know with Diana, she didn't bring any of that stuff because I was worried. Like I literally when she came to visit me, we rented a car. I rented a car seat for the rental, so they don't have to bring that stroller. It would have been nice, but I was like, Maddie was big enough where I was like, we just bought like a $20 stroller at Walmart just to push her around. But with the newborn, yeah, we would have brought our stroller. But car seat, I don't know. I think car seat I would have just still rented because that's all.
Shazan was 3 and we brought car seat and his stroller.
Just too much stuff to lug.
Because we were going to Disneyland. So we were like, we wanted to be comfortable in Disneyland.
Yeah.
So we brought everything.
But the car seat rental wasn't bad. Maddie liked it. It was literally just
No way. D would not. She wouldn't. No, she would like a rental car seat, like where like hundreds of kids probably used before.
Oh, we did. But I was like, just the hassle of like waiting for it, checking it in. It's like, dude, it's plane. Like I'm ready to go. Like let's freaking go.
No, well, so I mean, because this was our first time with Finn, like we would literally wait for everybody to deplane, and then we would go after. Because we didn't want to be rushed. We wanted to take our time.
Yeah.
And so
from our first time with Shazan, we went with the whole family. So there was 12 of us and 3 toddlers.
Dang.
So it was interesting. You could imagine it was interesting. So I think we might have went like 3 or 4 hours early too on the red eye.
Yeah.
And luckily we did because like my sister had something wrong with her. Like she had a hard time checking in. Something was wrong. For a second, we thought she wasn't gonna be able to come. We're like teasing her. We're like, all right, bye. We're gonna leave you.
Yeah.
Like she had to like do something. It's crazy.
It was weird for Diana. Like the first flight, Maddie was on it, but the second flight from Dallas to Mississippi, she wasn't on it. And she kept telling the flight attendant, like, can I get my baby on there? And they're like, they were giving her a hard time. And I was like, what, my baby just going to disappear after the like, Can you just add her onto the ticket? I don't understand why this is a big. Like they kept giving her a hard time about it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's just.
Did she tell the airline beforehand?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
and
you
they
have
just
to add. So when you buy the ticket, you have to add,
right,
and then you say they're under 2 or whatever. So
right, right.
they're not gonna have a seat, but they
Oh,
still
so
have to be attached to you on the manifest. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, did they? So that second leg, they did.
They didn't
they
tell her.
not?
Diana noticed, like, wait, how come Maddie's on the first ticket, but her name isn't on the second ticket? So she just inquired about it. Like, is this going to be an issue? And they were like, oh, that's interesting. And I was just like, are they going to be with you? And she's like, who else would my daughter be with? Like, really? Like, no, they're going to be with someone else on the second flight. Like, I was like, sorry, babe. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm over here in Mississippi.
Okay, bye, Maddie.
Yeah.
But she's gonna leave it with you. She gotta stay in Mississippi with you.
Oh no. Chris, are you excited for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Do you have are you leaning towards one or the other? Be honest.
Not really.
Oh,
Not really. Like,
well,
it really doesn't matter.
and well, you didn't preface that. You just said, "Hey, are you excited for tomorrow?" What's
tomorrow?
Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry.
The gender reveal. We found out the gender.
Do you guys have names?
Did you guys do? Wait, hold on. Did you guys do a gender reveal for Shazen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Shani has some names. She's told me them. I don't remember what they are, but she has some names in mind.
Okay.
How did you guys do it the first time?
So the first time, I have a YouTube video on it. You can go check it out. No, I'm just joking, but I do have a video on it. But it was we did cupcakes. So we ordered cupcakes with the thing, and then everyone had a cupcake, and then everyone in the whole party bit into the cupcake at the same time.
Oh, and like the filling was the color.
Yeah, with either blue or pink. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So who plans it? Like
Shani planned the first one.
So, but did she? So she knew.
No. So we take the envelope. So you go to do the ultrasound and you tell the doctor up front, oh, we don't want to know the sex. It's gonna be a surprise. So put it in this envelope, and then we seal the envelope and we take it straight to the cupcake place.
Oh, okay.
So she had ordered the cupcakes beforehand and told them, like, we're gonna do a gender reveal, yada yada yada, and so we just take it straight to them, and we have no idea.
Okay, got it. So yeah. Okay, so you did cupcakes last time. What are you guys doing this time?
Bowling.
So what do you mean?
So explain. We're gonna go. We're all just gonna. It's more. I planned it, so it's not really like a huge reveal thing like the cupcake one, but it's more just to hang out, to bowl.
No, but then, how are you gonna find out?
So we're probably I'm thinking we're gonna probably bowl one game, and then in the middle of the game we're all gonna stop, and then they have pink pins and blue pins, and so they're whatever the gender is, they're just gonna drop the pins inside of the in the pin setter on the lanes. So it'll be pink pins would be a girl, blue pins would be a boy.
Oh.
So the reveal is when the pins come down.
Yeah.
Oh man,
dude, me and Diana, we were thinking about what is he gonna do? It's at a bowling alley, and she was like, maybe he's gonna make a pin in the middle, and they're gonna bowl, and it's
that's what I was. Yeah, that's
I'm
what I was.
I'm almost positive the bowling alley would not let him do that because I'm not a bowling expert, but those lanes have to be kept clean. I can't imagine powder and confetti.
Yeah.
Unless he's a baller, I don't know. Maybe he knows some hookups. But
I've thought about this for a few years, and I was like, I don't think that's possible, and I wouldn't I love bowling, and I wouldn't want to do that to the bowling alley. And so I was like, I didn't even inquire about that, but they are painting the pins for me already. So
nice, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Because they have a set of pink ones, so I go there a lot, bro, and I know them. So I was like, I asked them, I offered to buy the blue pins, but they said it was gonna take too long to order and come in. So they have a bunch of old ones. They're just gonna paint it.
That's cool.
Blue, so they'll have two sets.
Oh, that's cool then, man. That's awesome.
And then what I'm thinking is after they reveal it, we'll probably have one pin in each lane. And I don't know if you guys ever heard of red pin night at bowling, but if if that colored pin goes in the front, like at the head pin, and you roll a strike, then we'll probably just give prizes. We'll have
Yeah,
like prizes.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, so we'll probably do that after they reveal it and stuff.
That's cool. That's
Okay,
cool.
that's cool. Yeah, I mean that's an interesting reveal.
Yeah,
I've never seen that kind of reveal before,
yeah.
so it's very unique.
Yeah.
Thanks. Like I said, I thought roughly about it like for a couple years. Like I've always wanted to do a bowling gender reveal, but I knew because all the sports reveal is like you said, like that the ball blows up to the color, and I was like, there's just no way that's happening. So I
Unless
was
you
like,
have like your own private lane. I mean,
private lanes, yeah.
yeah, like
And
your
then you're
own.
gonna have, if that's your lanes, you're gonna have to clean all of that shit up, and that's gonna
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah,
Like all in the crevices and stuff. But so that only way I could think of it was a pin, like the colored pins.
Yeah.
But Shani, after I did that, Shani told me she's seen one where so they roll a white ball down the lane, and then they'll send either a pink or blue ball
Oh,
back up
that's
to
oh,
you.
that's
cool.
good. Yeah, that's a
That's
cool one.
That's like, why'd you tell me that
That's a
after
cool
I did all
concept.
this?
Why'd you tell me that?
But I think
Yeah.
the color pins will be cool, and then like I said, we'll have it on there, and then we can like win prizes and stuff if you strike
Yeah.
with the head pin. So
Cool.
that'll be cool.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, nice. So yeah, that will definitely be first. And actually, this is my first or our first gender reveal
Yeah,
that we've we've never been to a gender reveal before.
Oh,
it's more
because-
just chill, relax, just to hang out, bowl.
yeah. We've been to a couple since we've been here in Hawaii.
Oh yeah,
Interesting ones.
yeah. Most of our friends that we know that have babies or that had babies and never had a gender reveal party. So
We've been to a few. We like parties on our side, so
Yeah. Parties
Oh,
is always fun.
yeah, I was like,
Any
that's Hawaii.
exclusive party.
But, all right, man. I have to get going. I gotta get Maddie ready. We gotta head out. I gotta get her some dang shoes. Her freaking fat feet, like me. She's having issues when she runs, and it's getting all red. So I'm gonna go to kids' Foot Locker. I think she's big enough to get some Jordan.
Shoe Palace.
I don't
Shoe
know.
Palace. Shoe
Oh,
Palace.
Shoe Palace. Wait, is there Shoe Palace at Pearl Ridge?
Yep.
Okay.
On the other side, though. It's on the other side by Genki.
Genki. Wait, I always forget. Is that
Wow.
the movie theater side?
No,
No.
that's
Oh,
the
Korean barbecue side.
no, that's Macy's side.
Macy's side is movie theater side is the same as freaking Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
You said the same thing? Yeah. Macy's side. So that's the Genki side where the satellite City Hall is.
Yes.
So I'll tell her we gotta go satellite side for Shoe Palace. Oh, but Shoe Palace, is that place expensive?
I think it's cheaper than Foot Locker. I think
Okay, because I was like, Foot Lockers should be cheap. I don't know.
Foot Locker is expensive.
Oh, is it? Yeah. I mean, I was gonna go
bought
to.
Kevin shoes from Foot Locker. I bought them, bro. This dude got so much. I still gotta give Kevin the shoes that, bro. If Maddie was a boy, we'd have so much shoes for her.
Yeah.
She isn't outgrows her shoes so fast.
I'm having a. Well, your boy's gonna be growing a lot faster than our boy, but I was like, I was trying to think. Like Diana's been literally going through Maddie's old clothes, and we've been like, you know what? Our boy can wear that. That's fine.
Well, I was gonna say like you'll find out tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna keep those shoes or not.
Dude, like literally, like all her pajamas, even the girly ones, I was like, our boy can wear it. He's sleeping in it. Ain't nobody gonna see him.
No one will see
Sleeping in it. It's fine. He don't need like whatever. He's good. All right. Men wear pink. It's all right. It's salmon. It's not pink anymore.
So, yeah, butterflies, unicorns. That's gender neutral, you know.
He doesn't even know those are butterflies. They don't even matter. Whatever. But yeah, I was like, I didn't know we had so much clothes. I was like, holy cow, it's just garbage bags full. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, well, we'll figure it out.
Well, you don't realize it, right? Like how many clothes your kid has until like you.
Yeah,
until they're growing up.
Fast.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, because even Finn has tons of clothes, and we're like, but he's growing so fast that we're like, man, this is too small for him already.
Yeah, but all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Text me your guys' shoe sizes. It'll be faster if I get the shoe sizes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that right now.
All right.
All right, shoot,
Sure.
guys.
Okay, take it easy.